Morning everyone, welcome back to David Echo Toys. Leaves you asking a question, doesn't it, regarding the police. Do you trust them? Do you think they're there to protect us? Whenever do you see a police car or a police officer? In the old days you used to say that you should never fear the police unless he's done something wrong. But it's a joke, isn't it? Why is it a joke? Because it's a lawless society. The UK is basically a crime free for all in the UK. It must be a criminal haven, the UK, because there's inadequate policing. These criminals must be thinking, what an easy life in the UK. No wonder the bleeding immigrants are coming to the UK, because it's rife over here, isn't it? And they keep coming across the water, all these illegal immigrants. I forget, France is a war-torn country, so they're trying to get away from persecution and war-torn France. Yeah, more BS. Anyway, we're deviating off the subject. And that is the police. What gets me, right? They can send send 3 police cars, 6 police officers round to arrest someone for, defending his rights, or making a YouTube video, or impounding someone's van for Starry is a WANKER on the side of it. It seems that all the police are doing is making a rod for their own back. Those were the days that the police were supposed to uphold the law for the people. It seems to be one rule for them, one rule for everyone else. Unless you got money, it's a different story. Bear with me for a second, I'm going to cough. Sorry about that. But if you got money, you got influence, and you got a status, excuse me, just have a drink, and you're looked on favourable by the society you're in, and perhaps you're the upper class, and I'm not saying they're making a rod for their own back. I think they are. I feel that the more you have, the more you want. So they're going around in a vicious circle, and you think to yourself, whose side are these police on? Not mine. Sorry about that. You have to excuse me, I've got a pastel in my mouth and I've got a sore throat and I keep coughing. Actually, I've got the flu. So, but what gets me, as I say, there seems to be one rule for them, one rule for us. I'm not saying they haven't got a difficult job. But I feel a police service is not fit for purpose. And when you have a police force trying to chase statistics and trying to please the Home Office and the MPs and to show that they're value for money, it leaves you asking the question, whose side are they really on? Is it all about money again? Not only that, if they are actually trying to change their tactics and become perhaps we use woke police force, and a do-goody-goody police force, where instead of being a police force that everyone respects and everyone trusts and relies on, they're not using common sense. They're not using logic. I mean, for an example, I watched a YouTube video on this YouTuber or auditor, and he said to this police constable, "You need to arrest him. You need to arrest him." And the woman police constable said, "What am I supposed to do?" I thought, hang on a minute. And I've got a collar number, but I haven't released it. And I probably won't, but I don't know whether I will or won't at a later date. But my point's this. If a police officer says to you, "What am I supposed to do?" and the person that's making the video is making an allegation that person needs to be arrested, obviously the police officer needs to show due diligence and caution that person they're referring to, and then ascertain to what the arrest should be about. But then again, the civilian that is making the video can make a civilian arrest. I think people forget that you and me can arrest and detain someone until the police take charge, because the police have a warrant. A warrant gives them their authority. But anyway, we're detracting from the subject somewhat. So that the officers, I believe, swear an oath to allegiance, to uphold the law, right? But who pays their bills is a very important point, and that's us. So they are our civil servants. They are public people that are there to uphold the law in the country. But what gets me is sometimes you'll see a police officer driving a vehicle almost like they were driving their own car. One hand over the steering wheel like this, little Jack the Lad attitude. I've often seen police cars not giving any indication when changing directions on the motorway or on the road, failing to give a good indication, which is unlawful. To use indicators is to indicate give a person an indication of your intent. But there seems to be a poor standard of policing. And the reason why we've got a poor standard of policing is because we've lost all that knowledge and respect and how people used to work in the community. And this is why we've got them and us now, is because the police are out of touch with the community. They are just managing, just like the government's making an absolute cock up of this country. The police are making an absolute cock up of policing. Because in one respect, what they're supposed to be doing is working with the community. But every time I see it, one, there's either no police, right? Crimes are being committed, and what happens when a crime's committed? There's no police there. So you phone up 999, and what they ask you is a question, police, and then you'd speak to operator. Excuse me, and you tell them the nature of the event. On the circumstances, they will get a unit travelling. But if it's like how do I put it? the person or people that committed the offence, if you've got no chance of actually arresting or detaining these people, then highly unlikely the police won't come out. But the problem being is they want an easy picking and they want an easy job. But what gets me is this. There's not the police to professionally enforce law and order in this country. And it's very rarely I see a middle-aged police officer. It's all young men or women, a bit like greenhorns, a bit wet behind the ears. Yes, they've had training. Yes, they've had to do this. Yes, they've had to do that. But it doesn't mean to say they've got any common sense or, what's the word? A grasp of normality. They're working within their parameters. So the way I see it is this. We're literally living in a lawless society in the UK. That means to me, we're not living in a safe country, right? Why we're not living in a country that's safe? Because there's inadequate policing. A classic example, I travel up and down the motorways virtually every single day of the week. And on those motorways, seeing a police car is rare as rocking horse poo. They're non-existent. You got more chance of seeing an accident than a police officer in a car or vehicle. They say about these HGV trucks that have got police in them to catch other HGV drivers and other motorists using their mobiles. I've been doing this 41 years. I don't think I've ever seen one in all my life. And each county or each police force is supposed to have one of these vehicles. They probably haven't got the police officers to bleed and drive it. Well, there you go. What do you think? Inadequate policing? People's perception of the police? Do you think it's good or bad? Can we rely on the police? In my opinion, no. And the trouble is, it's always after the horse is bolted something gets done. And there's no proactive policing. Those days, I feel, are gone. There's no police presence. So crime is going to run amok. And that's what you see. And that's why we're in a country for criminals and lawlessness. It's not very good, is it? We used to set an example in this country. But because we've got a utterly useless government that destroys people's trust and integrity in the government and authorities, we've been let down. We've lost all trust in government. We're losing our trust in the police. And to sum it up, can you trust the police? And the answer will be most likely no. But that's my view. Are you a serving police officer? Or a policewoman? My point is this. If you are, if you're allowed to put your opinion across, have a say. But as my own perception of the police force, it is not fit for purpose. We don't have adequate policing. The general public is not safe. And it is a crime haven in the UK because we don't have any police. That's my opinion. What do you think? Be interesting to find out. And last but least, leave a comment down below and please consider subscribing to the channel because that helps you. Excuse me. Excuse me while I cough my heart up. Oh dear. As I was saying, it helps people like you see videos like this so other people like you can see videos like this in a roundabout way, if you know what I mean. So thanks for watching, everyone, and you have to forgive me. I'm full of flu, so I'll do my best. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye now.